mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hi guys, and welcome to episode 9 of Unjaded. First of all, بس بدي أقول thank you to all the support. Thank you to everyone who's watching the podcast, liking the video, subscribing, commenting. Your feedback has been amazing. Unjaded, it means a lot. It makes me want to keep doing this. And definitely from the start, Badna, this is the 9th episode. And Unjaded, I'm so thankful for your support. I can't do it without you guys. And أكيد don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. ما بدنا نخلي البرسنتج non-subscribed 73%, بعدهم 73% not subscribed. So يلا, we're getting somewhere. بدنا نوصل ل 100k soon. And yeah, today we have a very special guest. TAREK MENDELEK. Welcome to Unjaded.
That's so funny.
So TAREK, هلا ما بنحب الفورماليتيز بس like you're basically the music partnerships and content manager at TikTok MENA, right? That's the official.
That's what I'm doing now.
And you're also an artist manager. You manage several artists. What do you prefer, Arabic, English, all around?
Wow, I don't want to get in trouble. But listen, I mean, I've obviously always been more inclined to English ever since I was a kid. But lately, since I started working in the region, you really see the value, obviously, in Arabic music. يعني, you know, it is what it is, right? But because we're younger, right? So we're always we want to modernize things. We want to make things better. We want to make things more accessible out of it. So I think Arabic now, I'm discovering it's been I've been back from the States for almost 2 years now. So I've really being back and seeing the up and coming scene with in Jordan, in Lebanon, in Saudi, in Egypt, there's a big scene that we don't see, you know, A-listers are cool and all of that, but there's an indie scene, there's a hip hop scene that's just, I've never seen anything like it before. So I would say a mix of both now. A lot of bilingual things happen.
Yeah, أكيد كلنا هون بلبنان حتى أيام the three linguals the three languages بيفوتوا ببعض.
أوقات four كمان. Shout out Armenians.
So Armenians ويانا بيجي حدا بيكون عامل شوية Spanish بيفوتوا ببعض.
هلا هون سكرنا خلاص. I tried beginners Spanish in LAU. تركته بالLAU. Although I lived in LA, you would expect me to speak Spanish, but I never practiced.
That's why I want to learn it because eventually بحس I'm going to move.
بزيادة ما بقى خلاص. سكرنا
ثالثة. So يعني مثل ما عم تقول يعني بحس هيك there's this هلا في مثل a new era of artists from the MENA region. صار بطلت إنه عربي Arabic language هو لون واحد الطرب the thing we're used to. لا صار في artists يعني عندك يعني many artists فينا نعدهم في any artists that come to mind.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I'm going to have to name names. There's a lot, and sorry to anyone I didn't mention, but I'll name just per country, per region. I mean, in Lebanon, you have Talia Lahoud, who's to me one of the greatest artists that are coming up right now. She's killing it on TikTok. She's killing it in general in her music career. She's pop, but alternative pop, very cool. You have in Jordan, you have Zayn, Noel Kharman, Dana Salah, Llunr, who's one of my favorite people ever.
Llunr.
Llunr is amazing.
I love him.
This guy is the standard for creating content.
I love him.
Literally, music promotion 101. Go to him.
He's amazing.
He's a legend.
He has many amazing songs, but there's the one do right?
That's the one that blew up on TikTok. Actually,
it's amazing.
Yeah, he's great.
Jordan كمان في عصام
نجار. That's my guy. I love Isam, man. Isam is a great guy.
في many they're popping فيه.
Yeah.
My sister.
Oh yeah, of course. Now United. Hello.
Definitely.
There's a lot. There's Eliana. There's everyone in Egypt. Ali Loka. I don't know, if I'm gonna count them now, there's a lot.
Also, I really love him as well. I have to really get into his music. And you posted something about him. He's a rapper.
Oh, Marwan Musa.
I think Marwan, is it Marwan?
Yeah, بطل العالم. The song.
تبع which is it him? The Jordanian, Palestinian, Algerian, French?
Oh, no, that's Zayn and Saint Levant.
Yeah,
it's their song called Balak. That's
صح.
and we can't curse, can we?
He can deep them, don't worry.
It's a f***ing great record,
I
bro.
love
Like
him.
it's honestly the fusion between like, just because Zayn is very special in the sense that I think she's one of the rare ones that's doing Arabic R&B.
صح.
You know, so R&B in general is hard to tackle. It's such an intricate genre that it's hard to really tsiba. But Zayn just does it so beautifully, and Saint Levant's verse was just incredible. He's also incredible as well.
Saint Levant,
he's fantastic. Marwan is
he's even really good at marketing.
He's good at
really
everything,
smart.
man. Like these guys, they know what they're doing. You know, all of them. We're just here to like help them, and you know, like Anna, as me being a music fanatic, basically. I reached out like outside of what I do as on a personal level.
As Tarek,
because Tarek used to be his own artist as well years ago.
No
years
way.
ago. We're not gonna get into. We might get into
we
that.
Might get it.
But like to me, because I feel like at the time when I was an artist, I didn't have that many people supporting, or I didn't have. It wasn't like it is now, you know, like where I feel like there's many more people that are given visibility, that are given, and that's what I'm here to give. Like if I can help you in any way as an artist, I'll do it. I have nothing to lose, I have nothing to gain. I don't care. بالعكس, I care in the sense that I genuinely care because I love music and I love seeing people from the region doing it out of it, and that's why I genuinely support.
حتى أنا when I reached out to you مرة online and you were super helpful.
Yeah, man, like I like helping people. It might sound surprising and it might sound super fake, but ask anyone who knows me. That's who I always who I've been.
In this day and age, Unjaded, it's becoming rare, but we need Unjaded more people like that.
Especially, bro, like in the music industry, like that shit's wild.
Yes, like, it's the wild.
Sorry,
it's very
like wild. Being working in the States and working here. يعني بضل في سام وين ما كان بضل في حياة. Oh my god, you have ego here in MENA. There's a problem with ego. Both. يعني
when you get there's sly work, honey there's ego, صح?
There's ego. There's a lot of ego, man, and sometimes it's not like you should never have an ego, but at least sometimes في somewhat of a reason out of it. هيدا التكبر will just people, man, thinking they own you, thinking they can ask for anything, they can. بضل في I don't know how to explain
ما في boundaries يعني they don't know. أنا خلاص إنه باخد وجه إذا بدك إنه
exactly because
shit, يعني.
exactly بس إنه with younger artists with خلاص things are changing, you know, like بس yeah.
Take us back to how you got here to working with TikTok MENA, the start, like your education, you went to school here, صح?
Yeah, I'll give you هيك as brief and of an overview. ليك أنا كتير بحكي أنا عن جد حرام. Whoever is editing this, I'm very sorry.
That's the platform for you.
I think that's why podcasts would work for me. Definitely better than actual interviews because that's
he's typing the guy be more
transcribing or basically I mean I've music يعني ever since I was a kid. I was in choir, I was a performing arts kid, like I was into music. Like I would go حتى when I was like a teenager يعني I would go and like try to find who wrote what song, which producer did what, which writer wrote لدرجة إنه خلص when a song is out, like I know I can guess who wrote it, who produced it, you know, like from producer giants like I am Max Martin, I am so many other people, like I would know
all genres,
there's a preference, of course. I mean, it was always pop and R&B for me, like especially R&B. The past, I would say, like 10 years has been life-changing to me. Contemporary R&B, of course, I appreciate traditional R&B and like all the greats that came before, but contemporary R&B, I would say. So it was always there. Music was always, I like to sing, I like to write. I learned how to write and produce and whatnot, all that. So I was doing it as a hobby at first, right? So
while here at school?
Yeah, I was in school. I graduated high school. I went to LAU. I studied business. That was cool. I did my music stuff in the meantime. Yani. I would also help other artists that are doing their thing now. Awata Mashi, it was kind of like a production assistant kind of thing where I would just like shadow artists around, help with gigs, all of that stuff, booking, shmabda. I even actually, funny enough that we're on NRJ, I did the NRJ music tour twice. I was just like working backstage, helping out, you know, the dressing rooms, all these things. Like, long time ago. And
these were the shit at the time. And my first concert ever that I ever went to was an NRJ music tour.
Yeah. I think it was 2012 and 2013, the ones that I worked on. And that was like kind of my first introduction into kind of being behind the scenes and being within the business somehow. Then I got like just a regular advertising job, and I was doing music still at the same time, helping out where I can, doing my own artist stuff. And then, you know what? I was like, 22, 23. I'm like, if I'm not going to do this now, I'm never going to do it. So I had to convince my parents, obviously, because, I mean, you have to. I mean, they support us. You have to kind of like justify the support. Yeah. So I did like, at the time, I remember I found this program at UCLA, UCLA Extension, and it's a music business program. I'm like, okay, this is not gonna like, I don't have to sell my kidneys for this. Yeah. Let's see. I did like a presentation, a whole PowerPoint. This is the course that does this. Like, these are like this is everything. I put it all, like I was pitching basically because I was working in advertising. It became so natural. Like, hey guys, like this is what I'm gonna do. And then, because they wouldn't understand for the longest time. Like, yeah, you like music, but how do you make a living out of it? Okay, right? Like that's every parent's argument when you're into arts or something relatively that's not like a doctor, an engineer, or what's the third one?
Lawyer.
A lawyer.
the holy trinity in Lebanon for Lebanese parents.
Of Lebanese Arab parents, yes, very much so. So they accepted, and I moved. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything there. I started interning left and right, doing all these different things, getting myself into artist showcases, into like all these exclusive events. I have like, listen, when you have a good, like, if you know how to talk to people and you know how to respect everyone, and you know, you really can get yourself anywhere. So, I played so many tricks on so many bouncers at like wherever there would be like showcases and stuff in LA. That's where you'd find all the managers, all the executives and things like that. So I would always try to get myself into these things. And eventually I met people and I started emailing managers left and right after I was almost done with my program. I mean, and then I interned for Live Nation for a bit, which was really cool. I was a production and in production. So I was helping with shoots, getting things organized. It wasn't like super like strategic, like management A&R or stuff like that. But no, it was a way in.
But you were always involved in music and in any shape or form in that world.
In my life. Yeah, true. I didn't even think of that. Hatta when I was like even in Lebanon, NRJ music tour. Yeah. So where was I?
Yeah, you were after while doing your thing at UCLA.
Oh yeah. I did that internship, which was cool. I had this one time. You know Black, right? Yeah.
I have a picture with him.
No. Oh yeah, it was here. He came and played here. That's true. I was I had met him once. Before, no, it was after. Anyway, that was the first time I met him. It was like it was a shoot in the Live Nation office, I remember, and I had to get like different things because they were shooting like a content piece. I had to get him like a bear, like an actual bear. Way. I had to get different things. So I was running around Hollywood in like the scorching heat and like grabbing things left and right. And then I go back and I'm like, oh shit, like that's actually Black, like he's right there. And that started in LA. I started seeing people and
he's like, one of my favorite artists, by the way.
Oh yeah, no. I've been listening to him since like 2017.
16, 17, since the Black album.
Exactly. It was the Free Black, Free Black album. It was crazy. Problems was the first song I ever heard. It was like, it's such a great song. And I was there and it's like, wow, shit. And then he took the bear actually. And he had like I don't know what convertible it was. He put a story. I'm like, oh, I got that bear. I sent it to everyone. I'm like, I got that bear. Like I have to fight to find that. Yeah, so things like that.
Can we talk about, like, for me, the production on Free, the song Free?
Oh my.
That's like one of my favorite beats of all time.
Yeah. It's sick. It's sick. But Black in general, it's
amazing.
I have a preference now on East Atlanta Love Letters, but
it's probably one of the most albums I've listened to on repeat. I've never gotten merch for any album except this one. I have a T-shirt for EA.
Yeah, that's he really I thought he couldn't like get over the other one, but this one was
Pretty Little
insane.
Fears with J. Cole. J. Cole's verse. J. Cole's my favorite artist, my favorite rapper. So them together, like my favorite R&B guy and rapper was the perfect match.
Artists like that, man. Special artists, man.
And he's really, and he talks about the music industry as well. He doesn't want to conform to the standards.
Him and Russ, I feel like, are very vocal.
Well. I also have a picture with Russ when he came to Lebanon. He came, I think Uber House was at the time.
Yeah. It was at Garten.
Next to, صح.
I remember really well. كان بعده أيام الدوم.
بتذكر none of my friends wanted to go, but I knew of people who are gonna go there. But I loved the guy from 2016, so I don't care about any of my friends. I'm going alone. And
I do that a lot, by the way. I used to go to concerts by myself.
Yeah, I had an experience when, especially, it's an artist you love. So, and even I met people there, and I was like, guys, مهم فيكم. I'm going to the front of the هيدا وصلت على barriers and the bouncer wasn't doing a great job.
وانا طول مترين عرفت so انا كتير بيسبوني. But I'm like, guys, I paid the same ticket as you. I'm gonna be in front. Like, I don't care. That's how I was created. Deal with it.
Exactly.
شو بيقولوا adjust to it because I'm not moving.
Exactly. So in this Russ concert, I'll never forget it. I kept swarming around until I was at the barriers. The bouncer wasn't doing the best job, so it can feel like an opening على barriers. عرفت? So زمطت. I was literally, and my hands were on the stage, so it had okay, Russ
is right there.
It's right there. and I told like a random person to snap a picture of me, so I'm gonna try to find it as well.
Oh, so it's a picture of you and him,
and like him right behind me performing. Wow. Yeah, but Zakar, he wore a jersey for Jean Abdel Nour because he always used to wear basketball jerseys.
Oh, I do remember.
Yeah, I was like, what they want?
Oh yeah. Oh my! I was so shocked. People like the entire venue was singing, and I'm like, guys, Russ isn't on the radio. He's not. Like, he doesn't have a top 40 hit. He doesn't. And I'm like, and then it clicked. And I'm like, this is the power of an artist. When you're able as an artist to not have a song on radio, to not have a viral song on, at the time, well, you can have TikTok, but
be pre-TikTok.
Spotify, whatever. If you didn't have somewhat like SoundCloud at the time even, and he was able to create a fan base. And that's to me what I tell artists. It's like, focus on that.
One song a week.
You want to focus,
doing everything.
Yeah. That was his strategy.
Mixing, mastering, producing. Who? Everyone's lazy now.
Yeah.
Put in the work. Whatever you're doing, artists, athletes, whatever. Because
the industry sometimes gears you to think that the way to making it is like playlisting, playlisting on Spotify, playlisting on Apple, getting all these editorial features here and there. They're cool. But those most often than not, they don't result in streams and fans. Right. What's going to feed you as an artist? Fans. Fans are going to be the ones that are streaming your music, that are buying your merch, that are buying tickets to your concert, I'm like, focus on that. Like, why are you emailing editors at Spotify and at Apple Music and at everywhere else? There's so many now. When really you should be focusing on what your fans want. Get on all these platforms that you have. You have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have TikTok, you have all these different platforms. Grow a community. Grow a community that would write so hard for you. They're streaming your songs. They're getting you on these playlists.
Exactly. Naturally.
That's what I always tell artists. And that's why I feel like I want to steer away from that, because like community is so important. As an artist, fans, khalas, they're the key to everything. They will get you anywhere. If they ride hard for you, they will get you on those playlists. They will get you on whatever TV show you want to get. They will get you anywhere. That's what I always tell them. And that's why like I like people like Llunr so much, because if you see the way he interacts on his TikTok and on his Instagram and in general, how he interacts with his fan base. He has fans, bro. He has fans in Asia.
Crazy.
In Asia, in Philippines, people are streaming his songs. Crazy. Like, it's insane. You know what I mean? Like, from when he posts on his stories, he got all these playlists, and he got them because he worked hard and he created content to support, and content that's relatable, mish hayalla, and replicating other people. and he knows how to promote his stuff.
Unjad, if you don't know the song, do yourself a favor and listen to Do Do Do. It's amazing. Unjad,
it's a great one.
Great song.
Where was I? Sidebar.
So life took you from that to landing the job at TikTok. So what
هلا قبل TikTok
there was
in LA I eventually, you know, after all these little things here and there, I was emailing managers left and right, and then there's one person called Nour NOW. It was actually my mentor and who I worked for in well, my time in LA. I emailed him, and at the time he was looking for an intern, and I'm like, I emailed him randomly like my CV and everything, and he's like, let's get on a call. I'm like, okay, wow. Okay, let's do it. We got on a call, and then I got on another call, and he's like, Khalas, you know what? I'll bring you on as a day-to-day manager, not even an intern. You shadow me for a few weeks, few months, and then you move forward. And that was really my first big entrance into the industry, and it was a big one because, you know, Naal works...
what did he used to do?
Naal manages, so he owns this company called Grass-Fed Music, which is a management and artist development company. And he manages a big artist in R&B called Sabrina Claudio, who was one of my favorite artists. يعني من أول ما I moved to LA, I was a huge fan. I went to like her show. I was front row. I showed it to her after. We laughed about it. It was funny. So now I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like you have some potential. I think you're really passionate. I want to take a chance. I'm like, shit, okay, now I'm in it. Fuck, like, what do I do now, you know? I started shadowing him. He assigned me one artist at first, and then it grew. This artist called Gavin Haley. I say this artist, but this guy's like basically like my brother. He was my first management client, like, consistently. And it was almost 2 years that I managed him, and we managed to do so much together. Like, we went on tour with this artist called Ash, who's also a really good friend of mine. Like, we went on tour with her for a month and a half. Now she's on another level.
Huge,
she's Malla Alaya. Like, I'm so proud of her. And Gavin, we worked really well. Like, we put out an EP. We got a hit out of it. We did, like, it was a lot of firsts for me with that job. Then I managed another cool producer called KRS. He's a dancehall, reggae, hip hop, rap producer, a bit of everything. And then a bunch here and there that came and went. And then I also independently manage Aframi, who actually is Lebanese American. He's a DJ, artist, producer. He's kind of like Diplo, Kygo, you know, stuff like that.
So electronic.
Yeah, electronic mostly. Hala, he's veering more into house. He's doing NFTs. He's all over the place, but I love him.
Nice.
And he's also a good friend of mine. He's actually who I moved into first in LA, but I didn't manage him from the get-go.
Okay.
So yeah, it was simultaneously at one point I was managing 4 to 5 people.
Okay.
It was crazy, but then I was almost there for 2 years. I had to come back here because of visa issues at the time, and I'm not going to go into the political aspect of it because I'm trying to go back, you know. But I had to. Unfortunately, I came back here.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask what made you move back, and that was basically
visa issues amongst other things.
Yeah.
But I came back, man. It was a pretty dark time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm gonna like down you guys for a second. But I was like, I think I would say I was probably clinically depressed. Like, there was a bunch of other things happening in my life at the time. But like, I was losing the one thing that, like, I'm like, I made it. Like, I opened that door and I got in and I did it. And now I'm forced to go back. Like, it's like, it didn't make sense to me, you know. It was crazy. It took a lot of therapy. It took a lot of working on myself to really get back on my feet. I lost my confidence. I thought, khalas, I wasn't meant for this. Like, I lost all my clients, obviously, because I had to stop working for Grass-Fed, which haram, yani. I was got to get sponsored. It was all working out. But yeah, I came back here right, like, 10 days before the explosion, which funny enough, أنا إنه خلاص حرجع أريح شوي بلبنان إنه برتاح شوي عرفت.
And then this happened.
And then whatever happened. And then I'm like, damn, like, shit, what do I do now? And I was still managing Rami. I still do. And I don't know, I didn't know what to do. At the time, I did music for Beirut with a really good friend of mine called Wasim. He currently manages an artist called Blue Pfeiffer, who's great and doing great stuff right now. We did it together with the help of many other people. Music for Beirut was an initiative that we did back then to raise funds. And with that, like, we got 27 artists. I was kind of responsible for artist outreach and reaching out to all these people that I knew, or that I still know. We managed to get like 27 artists. We got Google on board. We got Noisy on board. Wow. It aired on Noisy, which is Vice's kind of music publication. And then I'm like, okay, no, like, I still got it, you know, like, I still got it. And then I had to go to I was here, right? So I had to get a job here because I think music management, if it's not abundant, you're not going to live out of it. So I went back to my old advertising job. And then a year after that, literally on the dot, is when I started with TikTok. So basically that's the whole journey landing up to here, which is crazy because I'm only 28, right? So I feel like I've done so much
in so little time.
That I never even had a break, right?
Yeah. 3 different countries as well. Lebanon, now the UAE, LA.
And 2, 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. Like, if I've been back for 2 years. Okay. But I was there for like 3.5, almost 4. Yeah.
While managing artists, like, what does your job entail? Like, what do you do? What are you responsible for?
Well, you're a therapist. Like, no, artists are very delicate creatures, humans, whatever you want to call them, you know? And me, at the time I was an artist, so I like to believe I have like kind of a middle brain. I'm half creative, but also half business oriented. Not any finance or numbers. That's like, no, throw out the door because I'm dumb. Math, and the math doesn't math with me, you know, like, it just doesn't. To the point where my physics teacher, Allah, it's a funny story. My physics teacher once كنا بسكوند أو شيء, and I don't know what we were doing. It's just, Chinese to me.
What program
I don't understand it. لا هاي بالاي سي.
Hey, what program? Lebanese.
بس second it was general. So physics and holy, they were still hard. ما كانوا بزق لزق. احفظوا بق. احفظوا بق. I'm your go-to. Anything involving math or numbers. شحطني.
شو قال لك الفيزيكس تيتشر؟
جبت ما بعرف شو جبت 40 50 طلع فيها هيك. صار هيك. It's like ابني بدي اسالك شغله. قلت له ايه تفضل. قال لي انت حمار. طلعت في هيك. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. And physics and yeah, حمار. Like شو. قال لي because you said that I'm gonna pass you. I'm like, see, honesty does get you. Does get you.
He let you pass. No way, he let you pass the course.
Yeah.
So if someone tells you that, just embrace it.
Yeah, right. Like, if you're not good at something, be frank about it, right? Exactly. Don't pretend to be an expert. Social media expert. ولا music expert. You're never an expert.
Marketing specialist.
Stop calling yourselves experts, for Christ's sake. Let your work prove it. You know what I mean? أو إنه celebrity ما بعرف something, or you know, like
celebrity consultant.
ايه انه شو يعني شو بتعمل؟ بتبعت له على تيابه على المصبغه،
بتبعت له السي في لغيره.
Anyway, لا بس as a manager, in all seriousness, you're basically okay. So the artist would be, if say I'm your manager, right? You would be considered the founder, right? So the founder doesn't really get involved in a lot of business. He just okays like things. Think of the artist manager, I would say, as the CEO of your company.
Okay.
Out of it. So as an artist manager, you would be responsible for every facet of an artist's career, anything that has to do with music. So you have to, when they're independent, you have to be everything. Obviously, if they're not signed, you're also distributing through a distributor like DistroKid, CD Baby, all of these things. But as a manager, you're supposed to A&R your client. A&Ring, when you don't have a label, you don't, because A&R people work at labels. And I'll get to A&Rs in a bit. But basically, you're curating your artist's record. You're helping them get writers and producers to work with them if they're not like doing it all by themselves. Usually, collaboration is the way to go. That's what I learned from Nael, my old boss, is that Yeah, like an artist will write great songs and will produce great songs, but collaboration brings more, brings more value at the end of the day. So you're helping them, you're putting them in sessions with the writers and producers, you're handling everything that has to do with their contracts, you're working with their lawyer hand in hand. But then again, they have their own relationship with their lawyer, because at the end of the day, there's things that involve you as a manager that you can't know, like, because there's attorney-client privilege, right? And then you're anything that has to do with the artist, you're their PR person, you're their A&R, you're their publicist, you're their everything at first, and then pieces start to come and go. Like when you have a label, you have a big conglomeration that's like supporting you with money that you have to eventually pay back, because they give you something called an advance once you sign the record deal. Like, say I give you $100,000, you owe me 3 albums. Some people never finish their deal, which that's a whole other story. But yeah, you're kind of like a one-stop shop for everything. Like, your artist is gonna rely on you to, like, hatta if they're touring and they're still independent, you're the tour manager. You have to go and like deal with the venues, deal with like merch sales and like hall fees, and there's all these different things. You're basically the CEO. So you're doing everything at the same time. And you're developing your artists. You're trying to get them to be better. You're trying to get them to write better songs, to produce better songs, to help them promote their records in different ways, because you have all these different platforms and you have all these different things that you can do. So
yeah, because the manager has a lot of like responsibilities and he has so much power in the artist's career. That's why we see a lot of like sly things, like bad, evil things happening in the music industry, like managers and artists. So many stories, even like big artists. Like our Shia on my head is Kesha, for example. Like
that's
a lot of drama happens. So and the thing is, even now in this day and age, we have TikTok where an artist can grow independently. We have social media, Instagram, YouTube, all these platforms. But at a certain time, when an artist gets really big, he's eventually going to need some people on his team.
Definitely.
So, for example, let's say there's this talented 18, 19-year-old artist who just blew up, has a few 100,000 followers, like I think, which is many of the people who are watching now, they're like up and coming artists watching. So like, what's the next step? When do I recruit someone, and who do I need on my team? What do you think, given your experience?
Listen, I mean, this is what I tell artists all the time, is that the first piece of the puzzle is always a lawyer or a manager, or both. For the most part, I think a lawyer first would make sense, because sometimes in the region, music lawyers are probably non-existent. They're very rare. But in a hypothetical sense, a lawyer can help you get a deal if they really believe in you. They'll help you find a manager eventually. To me, I don't tell an artist go look for a manager unless you're in, like, for example, in MENA, sometimes some artists would do that. Like, if they're at a level where they can't keep up with everything anymore, they lose focus coming out of the music, because at the end of the day, it's a creative. Let them create, like, as an independent artist, unfortunately, you have to do it all. And it's beneficial to do it all. لأنه بتعرف قيمتهم once you have everything. If you ever make it, you'll understand the value of things, and you can pitch into things at the end of the day. Because when you're at a level like, I don't know, Dua Lipa or Ariana Grande, like, you don't have time to go over the nitty gritty of things, like,
you have a whole team doing these small tiny
building, probably literally
company.
One person.
The artist is a company.
So I think mainly focus on yourself as an artist, and I think the managers will come to you, the executives from the labels will come to you. It's just always, whether it's a lawyer مخصصه in music or مخصصه in anything, and I say that for MENA specifically, lawyer up, because labels and distributors and I love them all, and I work with them a lot and all of that, but you always need to keep an eye on the paperwork, and you always have to read that paperwork through and through.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So أكيد lawyers number one. They have to, because many people بالكي عندهم other hidden agendas. They want to exploit
because a lot of times, and especially in nowadays, artists are getting signed because they're going viral. A lot of the time. And the problem with that sometimes is that a lot of artists don't know how to move past that viral moment. Like, the only person, well, there's a bunch of artists, but like an example would be Lil Nas X. Like Lil Nas X had Old Town Road, right? And it came from TikTok and from social media in general. Because he's a genius. Tell you that. And I can tell you that for a fact because I had a friend of mine that used to work for his team at Columbia. He's a genius. Like all of the ideas are his. Like he has the ideas.
Yes, he's controversial. Yes, he does some outrageous shit, but he's from a marketing perspective, he's a genius.
He understood every single app he's on, and khalas, he's and a lot of the times going back to the subject is that labels, yalla, let's sign Bella Porch, let's sign this person, let's sign that. But a lot of the times they're doing that for quick cash grab because
Fetty Wap, designer Panda.
And that wasn't even like viral like we know it today.
Exactly, that was like still go viral. Before that was like, but it was always the case of one had an artist handle a viral song, and now it's just happening more and more.
And you can't live off a viral song. You really have to follow it up with. How did Lil Nas X do it? He had a viral moment, but he created an army out of it. Like he was interacting with his fans all the time on TikTok, on Instagram, everywhere, replying to every single comment. Like, and then he built something that would make him last past his hit, and he had multiple other hits after it. And I don't want to name any names, but like a lot of these songs now, like for example, like ABCDFU, for example, Gayle. She's a great artist. I'm not saying she's not, and I don't know her personally. I don't know anyone. And I'm interested to see how she progresses because I feel like she brought back a sound that was like that hasn't been like this whole like emo rock pop whatever you want to call it. Yeah, like Olivia Rodrigo as well. But like Olivia Rodrigo as an example, she's been in the industry before, and all that, so it's a whole thing. But with Gayle, like an artist like her, I'm interested to see what comes next. Consistency is key, but also not regurgitating the same song over and over and over and over. And then now everyone's trying to create that same sound. Like it's like just be unique, be yourself, and that's how you're gonna stand out. And a lot of the times labels just sign these artists without even believing in them. Like they just see a viral one, they're like, khalas, this is gonna last. And more often than not, it doesn't. And you're not getting hits, so you're not getting the budgets anymore, but you're still signed, so you're stuck. Khalas, plateau. And then you're stuck. You can't go and release whatever you want. The label doesn't want to release. It's a trap, the label doesn't want to release. You can't release.
You're done. You can't do anything about it.
You're stuck.
And no, Unjaded, it's a trap because
that's what happened with JoJo, the artist. Remember, JoJo that sings "Too Little, Too Late." That song, it's very old.
Okay, well, yeah, they didn't set to release.
She got stuck for the longest time, longest
That's so
time.
bad. Yeah.
That's why I'm like lawyer up.
Exactly. If you have an independent artist, you have one song that blew up, you're gonna need the team. So that's when the labels come in, they see you, khalas, fi potential for us to make some money out of this artist, and then you're stuck.
A good example I would give, and she followed up, and she's still doing really, really well, and she's only gonna grow from here. Is I don't know if you've heard of Lana Lubany.
No.
Lana's song. Okay, so basically she's a Palestinian American artist. She's incredible. She had this song called The Snake that came out in February. The song came خلاص صار لها شهر, and it's been a month that it's been out. She randomly posts this video of her mom like reacting to it because it's the first time it's English and Arabic together.
I saw that. That. Now I remember that. Okay.
And I found it and I like reached out to her like just as a fan, يعني إنه هيدا, she did her thing and she blew up the song just out of nowhere, like starting getting millions and millions and millions of streams. It's at probably like 6 million something on Spotify. And then she really strategically knew how long to make the song last, like the cycle of it going viral and really like stretching it al akhir, promoting it, putting out content around it, different versions of it. Really, she استفادت منها على الآخر and just now put out the next single of this whole project that's like bilingual and super, super cool. And she has a team. She didn't have a manager before. Now she does have a manager and a really great one at that. And I can like vouch for it. I mean, he also manages this other artist called Arlo Parks, who's fantastic. She's had a big success in the UK and the US. And she signed with management. She got, I mean, I'm sure labels approached her. She didn't, I don't think she's signed to this day. But that's a good example of like how to build on that.
So I think, yeah, like to build on a viral moment.
Yeah, and giving, the people what they want. Because she listened to what people wanted. A lot of the attention on her TikTok, I remember, came from non-Arabic speaking people. They're like, what is this? I want to know what it is. She did a translation video on YouTube. She explained the background behind it, everything. And people were mesmerized. Wow. Like, they were just like, I don't understand this, but I love it.
And stories sell as well.
Yeah.
And I think she's like, seems very smart. And she knew how to do that. But I think like you have to back up the viral moment by a really good art, like an EP. Like I remember after her driver's license was broke the world.
Yeah,
she was planning for an EP, but Heidik, and like that was the strategic thing she did. But then because it blew out of proportion, the EP became an album, and that's why it worked with her.
Exactly.
But the plan is, I think always viral song, EP, but like with really good art that can like.
But it's also viral song, but like really. Milking it is such a vulgar word, but like, really making sure you can make it live as long as you can without pushing it. And then you put out another. To me, a strategy is different for everyone. But if it would happen to one of the artists I was working with, say I managed someone, okay, we have a viral song on our hands. Let's see how we can make it live in different ways, but also in different channels. So you're thinking like, maybe I can pitch this to like a few music supervisors on shows, like on Netflix or whatever. Like you can reach out to these people. Like when you're a manager, you would be able to have some of the connections like this. You try to strive for that because one placement made moral of the story about Ash go viral in a like way I've rarely seen, which was because it was featured onto The Boys I Love, to The Boys I Love, whatever, on Netflix.
The show.
And the girl was lip syncing it as part of one of the scenes. So that paired with a great moment in TV, the song ما بعرف شو صار جنت يعني. And TikTok helped her as well, like her being on there and being active. So it's like, and then she focused on that, and it was an older song. It was like a 1.5 year old song. So she stretched it, and then she released another single, stretched it, and released another one up until her debut album. It's really A/B testing. It's about every artist, it's about every song. If the song ما عندها potential تبقى خلاص, release another one, promote that. But don't do the same thing over and over because people don't want the same thing. That same thing worked because it was unique. ما كان في شيء مثله.
مظبوط. If you are going to do the same
take an element of it
and extrapolate, do something more.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think this podcast started like a crash course for like artists and people in management. Like I didn't expect this going that way, but I love it.
Because
there's no blueprint for music, especially in the region. I think that's why it's very important, and I'm going to try to promote it as much as I can on social media, definitely on TikTok, for upcoming artists who, because Unjaded, there's no blueprint. Like there's no one to help you, to guide you. If you're a kid who goes to school, like where are you going to find this information? No one's going to tell you that.
Exactly. That's what I struggle with. I mean, at first my objective was to become an artist, but then I realized I'm way behind compared to other people. So I'm like, how do I make better use of it? How do I? And I like business, and I like marketing, and I like seeing other people succeed and helping them. So I'm like, artist
also
manager.
You're a fan of music as well. So it's
such a fan, bro. It's embarrassing sometimes.
But do you still make music on the side? Like,
no, I would like to, but not now.
There's always time for it. The world changes. It's not like only in your 20s and your teens.
Oh,
where you can make
that's a huge factor.
You can make music at like
anyone
50, 60.
has a chance now.
Honestly, I'm not like, this is the first time I ever see it. I don't mind like maybe getting into it sometime in the future, just like for fun, because I love music as well. I used to play the piano. My sister is in music. I mean, I love it. I love to, sometimes I try to like, I'm playing a song on the piano. I try to come up with like different chords, see how they sound together. I've written like one song once, but that was like for fun during COVID.
Oh shit.
But I can't sing. I only sing in the shower.
Oh, you can write for other people. That's a whole ass job.
Yeah, I only sing in the shower. Or maybe I try to do like some vocal lessons whenever I'm...
Listen, I mean, the problem is in the Middle East is that like I never had someone that would guide me on like all these things that I'm talking about.
You learned everything on your own.
I learned everything on my own and from obviously my bosses and like whoever I worked for. And I learned a lot from different people, from artists themselves حتى.
Most of the work, أكيد you استفدت هون in Lebanon, but most of the work was when you went to LA, right? That's where you learned the most about the industry. So
everything.
That's the thing. No, like here, people in the region, not everyone has access to that. So it's really important for them to.
And I consider myself lucky, you know, because I was able to go there. I went at a time where obviously Lebanon wasn't going to shit. But and I had a lot of people like, I hate saying it, but like it's like not شوفت حالة أو شيء, but people were telling me like, wow, like, I want to do that. How did you do that? What? And like it's like it's not how you just do it, you know. Like management comment doesn't always require a degree. Like it's not you're learning something that's very relative, you know. Like بالجامعة in UCLA I learned a lot, but it was also a lot of like, because it wasn't your typical degree, it was a certificate rather than like a master's degree. But the teachers were from the industry. Like my law teacher was Britney Spears' lawyer, Tupac Estate's lawyer, Fifth Harmony, Tupac, like his estate.
No way.
She manages the estate. She's the lawyer. Hey, her name's Dina Lapolt. She's a legend.
Wow.
And people like
Definitely
that,
LA,
you know, like my audio, what was it? Like intro to production. I just took it as an elective. The guy's actually Lebanese. اسمه Brian Malouf, but very American. But he's such a great guy, and he was the mixing engineer on Michael Jackson's album Bad. Like, I'm like, and they bring in these guests and these producers and writers, and I'm like, I remember they once got this producer / writer called كيف راح اسمه عن راسي. I'm a huge fan of him. What the hell? Anyway, he produces for like Katy Perry, for the big pop like icons. Okay. Oh, Greg Wells. Greg Wells. He came to the studio to the class, and I'm like, what? Like,
this guy's in my class right now.
And then I started talking to him on the side about like really specific songs on albums, and he's like, how do you know these songs? Like, I did this 15 years. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm just a big fan. I'm like, I'm really not a stalker. I'm just a fan. You know? So like, I didn't have that. And now artists and managers and whatnot, they come to me and I go to them a lot of the time. They come to me. I want to help because like, I know that sometimes people, there's things that they don't understand because there's no education. There's no proper education on what publishing does not exist in the Middle East. It's crazy. Music publishing حتى لهلا أنا قد ما تعلمت واشتغلت I handled publishing ما بفهمها. It's so hard, publishing and licensing and the copyrights and all of these things. هلا MENA we're catching up. Like the actual infrastructure of the music industry is now really properly. يعني كان قبل كل شيء مش على لبنان انه مبلش شوي على لبنان انه يا هلا بنعملها هيك ما في process ما في organization ما في education على you know, like there's all these old school managers and all these old school executives
الدقة القديمة
and they want to do things على اللبناني ولا I need a contract for everything, I need this, I need that, I need but يعني وبعدين طريقة الحكي بتفرق كتير
and that's where هون اللي بيصيروا الخبايص بس إنه يلا مشينا and in this music in this industry many things can go wrong.
Many things can go wrong, but alhamdulillah, like now I'm seeing a lot more young managers. I'm seeing a lot of younger managers يعني من عمري وأصغر يعني. And it makes me happy because I never used to see that before, you know, like even artists sometimes now they're way more knowledgeable than they used to be before Anna left for America. Like I feel like in these 5 years, a lot of things changed in the industry.
And I feel like in the next 5 years, there's going to be a whole different scene.
Yeah, you know, like, and that's when I came back, one of the reasons that really helped me kind of heal mentally when I came back from the States, said, Tab, okay, I have experience in the greatest music industry of all time. That's worth thousands of years. And I came back here where there's like this budding scene that's just going crazy. Like maybe I was meant to like bring the experience I had there and like kind of structure things here and explain to people like how things really should be done for a music industry to really like blow up.
That's exactly how I see it.
And Variety, the magazine, put out an article saying MENA is the fastest growing music market in the world for 2021, which means, you know, this was the case with Latin music, قبل ما Despacito, all of these, they're predicting that. So I think now a lot of eyes are on us because we're the fastest growing market in music.
And we're a huge market. Yeah, we're a huge. The MENA region is a huge market, which is why definitely Nour, when she joined Now United, it was like a big thing because like she represented not just the country, she represented like the entire MENA region. And Now United, they had members, each one representing just one country, and then Nour representing like the whole Middle East, which is like so many eyes, so many like Egypt لحالها is like how many
80 million 90 million
قطعوا like 100 million باقي أكتر. I don't know, my numbers are off, but yeah, it's crazy, man. And finally, like this crazy journey landed you. Yeah, now you're working at TikTok MENA, and how's this job been? Are you happy? How's it like? It's very cool to see, you know, TikTok has presence in the MENA. It has been a while, but you know, it's really cool to see, you know, Unjaded, they put their feet like in the Middle East.
Yeah. So. No, listen, I'm very, very happy. I landed at a great company. I'm doing what I love. And for a platform, I was very passionate about من قبل anyways. يعني even in the States, I used to, like, TikTok was such an important thing for us in management. يعني عم بحكيك, I really started understanding TikTok and getting introduced to it. It's like mid 2019, like.
Was it still Musically at the time?
No. كانت بلشت Say So, Tbij Properly, and what was the other one? And Savage. It was like early on. يعني,
why don't you
mid 2019.
So?
Hey.
I'm a savage.
And I'm like, okay, wow, like this platform is definitely the future, you know? Like I would tell Gavin, yalla, get on TikTok. And he was on Musically. All the Musically accounts shifted to TikTok, and he has still had a lot of. I'm like, you have this account with thousands of followers, just there, just be active, you know. So since then, great. I'm glad my journey landed me here.
So, I think it's a perfect match for you because it's like the marketing and the business side and like the music aspect, and they just fuse in perfectly for. TikTok,
100%.
Like it's amazing, and I'm happy for you, man.
It's been crazy. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's been a crazy
journey.
6-7 years, but who knows what else? I mean, I feel like I've done enough, but then I'm like, no, I still need I want more.
Yeah, you know? Now I have like some rapid fire questions for you. Let's do it. Who's your favorite artist ever?
Oh, damn.
Like one that's like you can only listen to their music forever. Just this person.
I can never run away from it, and I'll probably get some flack for it, but it's always been Ariana Grande.
No way.
Like it's she's a very special artist for me because the evolution is just insane. The talent is insane. The dedication, the work, the craft, anything.
Just the vocals.
Yeah. Like her and The Weeknd, I can say safely, since like 2012, my most played 2 artists on my Spotify for sure.
And now they're and 2012 was their start, and now they're
2012
like both
was
at
their
the
start,
top.
bro. I know, and they're both like at the top, and they collaborate all the time, which is great for me. But those
Grande.
are like the 2 like tent poles in my music.
Right. We went over favorite genre, maybe pop and R&B. Pop and R&B. What do you have a favorite career moment or like throughout your journey that? Oh yeah. Now that's this is my moment now. What was it?
Yeah. The best moment or month and a half of my life was going on tour. That was just. Like we toured the US and Canada. We did something close to 27 shows.
Was it flights or tour bus? How was it?
It was tour van. We didn't have enough budget for a bus. But no, it was with Ash actually. Gavin was opening for her. And it was us and another opener called Charlie Berg, who's a great friend and a great artist. He's fantastic. It was us and their man, like كل واحد المانجر تبعه, in a van for a month and a half. And then certain times we took planes, very rarely. It's mostly in a van, like a big van, and hotels in and out.
Driving across the whole US and Canada.
All of the US. Wow. A month and a half, we went from California to Texas to Georgia to Florida to everywhere.
amazing.
Toronto, Vancouver.
It's amazing.
And it was crazy, you know, seeing your artists that you've worked so hard with. Like with the people, like, because openers usually they get it rough, but her fan base is so respectful and so graceful and so great that they really pushed him, and كتير استفاد من هالtour, you know, like it was just a crazy experience getting to go all around the States with your friends, and like just I saw more of the States than some Americans, which is hilarious. And some of them even told me, they were like, you saw more of our country than we did.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah.
Do you have like a best celebrity encounter?
Celebrity encounter. Oh,
best and worst, like
best celebrity encounter. Doja Cat.
Doja Cat. Wow.
Doja Cat. Oh, so this was what, like 2019. It was this Amazon. No. It was Spotify's. It was like a party for the BET Awards, which is an award ceremony.
Yeah,
that
definitely BET.
It was like around this like pool, and it's like it's like kind of like a barbecue cookout thing. So they had games all around. There was a lot of different people and artists and stuff there. There was like a Jenga station. You know Jenga, the game where you like have
definitely.
And it was just, and Doja Cat was there, and I'm like, I want to play Jenga. And so I went into the Jenga thing, and I see Doja, and I'm like, wait, I know you. And in my head, obviously, I was like, industry events, you know, you gotta act cool, you gotta act like you're calm and collected.
And you should be like you're used to that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your shit.
So I'm like, oh, can I play? She's like, yeah, let's go. And then we had such a great time.
So you basically played Jenga with
Doja Cat and Gallant. I don't know if you know Gallant. Gallant is a great R&B artist. He's signed to the same management as her, but it was them two. Then there was this, I don't know what her name is. She's not an artist. She's this like, I don't know how to explain. She had those long nails. Okay. And she used to, like, she went viral at the time. So many, I forgot her name, but she gives like all these positive mantras with like the nails and like kind of like Maddie from Euphoria. But anyway, Doja was hilarious. Wow. Like the way she is on TikTok and on Instagram and all that.
Funny.
لا. يعني ركب من الضحك. She is hilarious and she's so nice. That's probably Ariana, but that's a different story. That was
you met her?
I can't go into the details of that story, but yes, it's too embarrassing.
It's too embarrassing.
Too embarrassing. لا مش إنه I fangirl or anything. It was just a very funny situation that happened, but that's for another time.
Any worst encounter, like you were bad celebrity encounter, like that was bad.
I don't know.
Can you talk about that?
Like actually, I've never had a bad like someone that was super. I feel like make them feel comfortable enough. Like I can't name one actually. يعني ما في شيء إجا على راسي دغري.
I don't know if you can talk about this was like the wildest thing you've seen in the music industry, like the wildest thing. Like that was like I shouldn't have seen this.
I probably can't say it on a microphone.
I can imagine.
It involves things that I cannot mention. Yes, and I will stop right there. No, yeah, I mean, another actually fun celebrity encounter was the Weeknd. I was at his manager's wedding because Rima's friend.
Sal, right? Sal.
Yeah. And at the time I was here still, يعني ما كنت فليت ولا شيء. And I was a huge The Weeknd fan, and I walked into the church and I see The Weeknd and I'm like, this can't be real. First of all, The Weeknd in a church is weird. And where, I can't even remember where it was, but yeah. And then we were at the actual wedding. We had shots together.
No way.
Great. Yeah, insane.
An experience for a lifetime, right?
Oh yeah,
especially like, did you tell him how much you loved it, or you didn't?
Yeah, no, he could tell. He could tell. He's like,
I'm guessing you couldn't.
I stopped talking for like a minute. I'm like, oh, sorry. And he's like, I'm a big fan, you know. So it's like, you know, I kind of realized that. I'm like, yep.
Is there any young artists now, like they could be huge, that you really wish you managed, or you can manage? Like, No matter the size, could be tiny, could be huge.
There's a bunch. There's a bunch. From the local ones, I'm not going to name because I don't want to, pit anyone against anyone.
It's
but,
cut ties.
No, we're not doing that. But on an international scene, I wish I could have managed Olivia Rodrigo. That would have been crazy.
Yeah.
I've never managed a female artist, which, funny enough, I mean, I should be, but given my history with, in general, music, I don't know. Olivia would be a cool one.
Did you have
up and coming now? There's this one girl called Sadie Jean. She went viral on TikTok with her song "What Are You Doing Now?"
What are you doing now? I know her.
I found her like at the very beginning. I'm like,
she's so cute as well.
She's amazing.
Very wholesome.
Very smart content creator for sure. She made her song go viral. Literally no one else.
Mazboot. And it was so natural as well. It wasn't like no effort. It
took so long for her to put out the song. Bro. I'm like, where can I play this song? Okay, going on TikTok.
And last question: are there any characteristics you have for like the ideal artist for you to manage? Like, how do you want them to be?
I want them to be hungry as I am. If I'm more hungry than you as an artist, then I shouldn't be managed.
And I think that's also advice to any artist in general.
Yeah, that's any artist in general. But also, what I look for in an artist, I want someone that, is a hard worker. Because at the end of the day, if I'm giving my time and my resources to someone to help them, get where they want to get, they want to get there as much as you want them to get there.
Even more, Berke.
Even more, for sure, even more. But what I look for, someone that already, it's sad, but relatively has some sort of following. مش عم بحكيك because it's hard, you want someone, because helping them also create a community is it takes time. So my passion is artist development. Like, I've only worked with up and coming artists. I've never worked with someone who was like fully established as artist management purely, I'm saying. So artist development to me is beautiful because you really get to live all these moments with the artist. Right? But what I look for is someone who's a hard worker, someone who's writing songs day and night. Because like Ed Sheeran said, songwriting is like a faucet that hasn't been turned on for long. So once you turn it on, that's him, by the way. It's not me coming up with it. So when you turn it on, there's a lot of like stuff that comes down that's like dirty, black, basically it's dirty water, right? بدها شوية وقت تتكرر وتصير تنزل وفاونتن يعني.
Amazing.
So that's how you get better as a writer, as a producer, as whatever, right? The practice makes perfect.
The 10,000 hours.
Exactly, putting at your 10,000 hours. But this also applies to songwriting and production. It's so important. And you want an artist at first that's self-sufficient. إذا بيقول لك, okay, I don't know how to produce. Okay, you need to pay producers. How do you do it? Do it yourself. Learn. YouTube, best friends. YouTube is your best friend. There's a tutorial for everything. Not even you don't need university. If you're musically
like YouTube is a university by
itself. Yeah. It's a DIY university for sure. But like, if you can't do it yourself, learn. No one's gonna come and produce your songs for free. Everyone's trying to make a living. Like, you need to do it yourself at first. And if you're writing and producing your songs, if it's a great song, it's a great song. The production can be terrible. But if it's a great song, the essence of it is there. I'll believe in you and I'll help you, Someone that knows how to promote themselves, at least at first. Someone that's creative, that's a good content creator. The thing is, and what I tell people, content creating and just in general, short form apps aren't for everyone, and they shouldn't be. And there's no pressure to get on do something you don't want, but do something. Do what works for you.
Because as a manager, you want also for this career to grow. And if the artist, both of them are at this level of creativity, as there's an artist who's just a bit better creatively, but this one is really good at marketing themselves, I kid you're gonna choose this one. Even though this is one of them is a bit better, but you choose the one who can establish themselves. And it hurts
sometimes.
Exactly.
It sucks, but you really have to, because at the end of the day, as passionate as I am with music, as any other manager, at the end of the day, you have to pay your bills, right? So you want an artist, and most managers are hired on a percentage basis. Unless you're working for a big company like for Scooter Braun, for Sal, for all these big managers, then I don't know, I'm بحكي من عندي, بس انه it's maybe a salary just a salary with no percentage, then okay. So if you're your own manager and you're putting on artists, you're bringing on artists on percentage basis, you make 20%. 20% sometimes is nothing, you know? So you really have to bet on someone that's going to eventually be generating you money, but also generating themselves money. Because at the end of the day, your priority is to make the money because you make money. But to me, at the end of the day, like I just want my artists to be a hard worker, to be happy, to not be doing it because not be doing anything they don't like. Sometimes you have to do things you don't like as an artist. It sucks. And I can name 1,000 things, but you have to. Sometimes there's things that you have to do to get to a point where you don't have to do them anymore. And it's like nothing should be too unattainable for you to do, especially when you're starting out as an artist. Like you have to be willing to work harder, work 10 times harder, because it's so saturated. There's so many people trying to make it, and there's so many talented people, so many.
And you have to stand out.
And you have to stand out. If you're doing the same thing as one person that went viral on Insta or TikTok or whatever is doing, you cannot. You will never replicate something that has gone viral. The whole point of it is to happen once. I know. Just work hard, know what you're doing, know how to promote yourself, really be dedicated to your art and your craft, and let the manager do the rest. You know, amazing. Let him know. That's it. That's really it. There's nothing.
I love that. I think there's a lot of knowledge to unpack from this podcast.
I hope.
Anjad, thank you so much, Tarek, for being here. It's amazing, man. Anjad, for artists, that's like a blueprint. That's like something to really inspire them. And I hope they're watching that and they're taking every word you said seriously, and they put in the work.
One more thing I want to say, like my Instagram's call me Tyro, by the way. Any artist, anyone, put your tag, please. Like I'd love to. Like if you have any question about the industry, any question about getting into, hatta if you're trying to be a manager, if you're trying to be an artist, if you're trying to be anything in the music industry. I mean, I have some experience. I'm not saying I'm Aflatun Asri in the music industry, helpful, but no, I like to help where I can, and if I can help, I will. I might take time to reply, but it's fine. Like I want to help anyone that wants to be helped and anyone that wants to work hard.
Amazing.
So, yeah,
and hopefully someday we'll hear about someone who was inspired by this podcast. And it's making it big in the music industry. Man,
because there's so many people that want to work in music that I know, and they just don't know where to start. And it's like it's not that like that hard.
Just put yourself out there. That's what
أنا ما كنت بحياتي حعارف إنه حكون قاعد هون عم بحكي معك عن هيدا الشيء. Like I never would have thought back in 2016 إنه I would have done this, that wherever I'm at today. I didn't know. I just took a risk. And I am lucky enough to have the support of my parents at first, but at the end of the day, I opened the doors myself. Like, I didn't know anyone in LA. I didn't let anyone tell me, Yalla, حاعطيك job هون اشتغل. لا. I opened the doors by myself because I played it smart, you know? And I figured the system out, and I'm still figuring it out. And I don't know everything, and I will never know everything. And you should never know everything.
You're not
supposed to. You should always be continuously wanting to learn. Which I'm doing now, being in MENA, is I'm learning this industry and how it's working, and it's crazy chaotic. Very much like the rest of us in MENA, it's chaotic.
I'm so excited for what you're gonna do here in the MENA, inshallah. And I know you want to go back to LA maybe in some time in the future.
Maybe things are unclear. I think where I am now, I think I'm learning a lot. I'm doing a lot, and I'm helping a lot, which is. My mantra is always to help the underdogs. A-listers are cool and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I want like great artists to be the future of now, basically.
I love this, man.
So wherever I can help, I'm there. And I never expect anything back because I just want music from this region to finally break through. There's nothing more beautiful than seeing an artist make it, and an artist that truly deserves it. And really, من قلبي من جوا بصير يعني when Lana was going viral, when Llunr was going, بحس كأنه I'm accomplishing something. أنا ما قصني بس I'm happy because like great people deserve to get where they are meant to be, and then sometimes you just need a few people to support you.
That's exactly why I started this podcast, because even though I get some great guests and it's a cool like talk show, like a guest-based podcast, but Anjad, the end goal is through these stories to try to inspire the youth as much as I can, and I hope through this podcast Unjaded, they're getting some knowledge, and yeah, inshallah, and I'm pretty sure you gave us a lot of knowledge.
Man, I hope.
To the Unjaded audience, man.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, Unjaded. Thank you so much. Thank Unjaded.
And you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much,
Unjaded, on all fronts. ما أعرف كيف بتلحق. Anyways, I really don't get it. I thought I was chaotic, but I found someone more chaotic.
I'm trying.
بس برافو عليك. Just
so
don't let your head explode. That's all.
I'm
Take
trying.
care of yourself.
I will.
Because these things can get dense doing multiple things at the same time. But yeah.
I'm trying. Man.
It's beneficial at the end.
Yeah, trying as much as I can, and yeah, I think that's it for episode 9 of Unjaded. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end of the podcast, what should they comment? Like, call me Tyro?
What should they comment? If they have any questions.
I played Doja with. I played Jenga with Doja. And yeah, if they have questions, should they put it in the comments?
Yeah,
as well?
in the comments, DM me, whatever you
definitely,
want.
Definitely.
I'm there.
Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all that stuff. Turn on post notifications, that influencer stuff. And
it's always funny to me. It's like these YouTubers, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and don't forget. Yeah,
it's always
just it's a new podcast, so every ounce
we do need those subscribes and those likes.
Every ounce of engagement helps. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in another episode of
Make sure it sound right, boys.